Okay, so I told you folks, or at least I mentioned to some of you, if you wanted to do letters, you are also going to have to do them in perspective. Yes, this is going to be kind of nuts and crazy, but we will get it. So I've decided that I want to make an open sign here in this window. So the sign itself, it's going to function just like the face of the building. 2 lines for perspective, and then 2 perfectly vertical lines. Might want to shrink that down a little bit. There we go. And there we go. Here is the beginnings of my sign. Now I will actually see the thickness of the sign. So in other words, it's going to have a face to it, just like this building would. From here, this corner here, I will have a horizontal line. From here, a horizontal line. But do keep in mind, it is not going to be super duper duper thick. If it were a really, really thick sign, it wouldn't be able to hang up on the window. So I'm actually probably only going to use about half of that. Narrow and skinny. Think skinny thoughts. There it is. And there it is. It's a hanging up in the window now. Carefully erase the lines that I don't need without erasing the ones that I do. Come on now. Get out of there. There we go. Got it. All right. So now, letters. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to divide up the space open, O-P-E-N, 4 letters. Now that I've written it down, I'm questioning myself whether I spelled it right. That's just how the brain works. I need to divide this up into 4 spaces. So let's see. Oh, almost an inch. So let's see. Probably do about 1/4 of an inch for each. Sounds good to me. Sounds awesome. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, here, here. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Let's do it. Lightly. Very, very lightly, because these are going to disappear. They will not be here once we are done. Okay. So now, the O is really, really, really tricky. The easiest way to do that, see if I can remember here, just a moment. So you start out with the O shape. Then you are going to draw from the top of that O, perspective, perspective. Now the other half of the O is going to fit into these lines. Like so. As small as this is, you won't notice it quite as much. Now the P. The P is a perfectly vertical line to start off with. Now the hump of it needs to go into perspective because the top of the P is a horizontal line. So here's how we do a short set of lines, and now I can curve that. There we go. Now my E, the E, it might be a little bit easier to do it as a capital E. Let's do that. Let's make it a capital E. So a capital E is 1 vertical line and 2 horizontal lines, which means it's on this side. Our horizontal lines are going to go back into perspective. So I'm going to start at about the same place that I did my P. Slide it on down. Okay. Now, 3 short, horizontal lines into perspective. There we go. Now the in. We can do it like this. It'll just be 2 vertical lines, a hump, and another. So here we go. Or, yeah, let's probably better do it a capital N. So I can remember what a capital N even looks like. There it is. Okay. 2 perfectly vertical lines. And I'm going to attempt to fake it. Alrighty. So there is open in perspective. Now it's going to be even more important that you follow this sort of technique whenever you've got, like, say you had a great big sign up here that had some words on it. Those letters are all going to have to go back into perspective. But if you have a sign on the face side of the building, your letters are actually going to be just straight face on. You can write them as you normally would. So if you had a sign, like, say maybe I had one that was sticking, maybe I had a sign here that was sticking out of this building. Don't know why. Maybe this is a flea market. You would be able to write your letters straight on. I'm not going to be able to fit this in here, but hopefully you guys get the idea. If it is facing you, it will be just straight face on. But however, if you have a sign that is going back on this side of the building, back into perspective, each of your letters need to go back. Alrighty?